Good morning. So, starting off the weekend vlog, walking Abby, and it feels good outside. So I am out here with a damn mask on and enjoying the weather. So yeah, reading quite a few books because I have time. So we'll talk about it when I get home. Hey guys, so I'm back to tell you what I'm reading this weekend. So the first book I read, as in last night, finished it early this morning, was the new Daniel Allen book, which is Truth or Dare. And guys, oh my goodness, it was so good. So good, but I'll give you all that at the end of this. So the book that I also picked up this morning is Quicksand by Nella Larson, and this was our debut novel, and it is pretty good. I'm almost finished. I have about 50 pages to go, but it's not long. It was actually 125 pages total, so I got 275. It reads pretty fast, and then this is, she is the character is a teacher, and she's experiencing a lot of things that it's affecting her as far as what she wants, and she is what you call don't belong anywhere in terms of family. And this, you know, the time period in this book, she is she's leaving one town where she was a teacher and going to Chicago, New York, and now she's traveling out of another country. She's going to another country. The gist on this, what I'm getting so far and what I'm really soaking up, is how much she wants to belong somewhere. Somewhere that her race is not define her or affect her, or there's no constant conversation about it, and what a black person should accept and what they shouldn't accept. In this case, this is a character that is biracial. Her father is white, her mother is black. Her father has never been in her life, and she's have a strange relationship with her mother, and a mother who actually remarried, and there was another family setting in there where she always felt like an outsider. So she's struggling with this, and I'm trying to tie it up because this is a short one, and hopefully the next 50 pages give you a more give me a more better understanding, where I can completely give you a proper assessment of the story, because it is short but it reads fast paced because there's so much going on as she's like bouncing around and searching, you know. The next book I want to read as well this weekend is Luster, and I read about 2 chapters already of this. So I did not read the synopsis, guys. It was one of those impulse buy because a lot of people that I follow was reading, and also someone had recommended me picking it up on a previous video or 2 video before because they wanted my opinion on it, so I picked it up. Now this is a character that I'm already, yeah, let's just say she giving me a certain vibe, so I'm hoping that it continues to get better because this is a character so far that's pursuing a man that don't belong to her, that kind of deal. But I'm not sure what it's about because I did not read the synopsis. I literally went into this book completely blind, so we'll see. So I'm definitely gonna finish this in this vlog, and this one of course will be done today. So yeah, so that's the goal. I am supposed to go to the store. I feel kind of summery still, you know, enjoying the weather while it lasts. But then I'm also like, feel like I just need to crawl into the bed and read. I posted today was my wrap up for August, so hopefully you guys have checked out that video. And I'm also editing my blog post of my wrap-up. So my wrap-up on my blog does have book section, but there's also a section of most memorable moment, and also lifestyle, and also health and fitness, kind of daily healthy living. So you can always check that out. It will be up, all that will be up before this video. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and I am yeah, so we'll see if I actually make it out of the house. Yeah. So all right. Good morning. Well, good afternoon actually. So I did finish quicksand, and decided to start Cane. I was just still in that Harlem Renaissance book mood, so I started Cane, and it is so poetic. It's a little tricky because there's multiple characters, so it feels like short stories, but I'm not sure if it's all gonna tie it in, all the characters tied in somehow. But definitely we'll talk about it more, and head into the store, gotta get something to eat, all that. Beautiful day. Alright guys, I have no idea what kind of bike and trail and situation going on here in Brooklyn, but there's tons of them. And they all have Caribbean flags, so normally this would have been Caribbean weekend. Yeah guys, this yeah, this weekend feels so strange because normally it is West Indian Day parade tomorrow. That's not happening. And I usually would have been to like some kind of party, something this weekend. Me and Mel will be roaming the freaking city tomorrow. Traditionally, that's what we do. It's so weird. And another event that's just sadly not happening in 2020. So yeah, the mood is just not good, but I got some reading done, right? I'm using my phone, guys, so I keep looking this way. I should be looking this way. So yeah, don't feel like walking around my camera. But yeah, that was pretty cool seeing all of that. So I'm glad, guys, that one of my favorite costume jewelry and vintage clothes place. It's still in business. That's a good sign that they didn't crumble through this madness. So I'm really happy. I did pick up some jewelry and a scarf. So yeah, so that is one of my spots. And this is why I need to lose weight, because I'm so upset. But I used to get a lot of clothes from them as well, because they sell a lot of vintage looking dresses, unusual stuff. And but of course my fat ass can't fit in them no more. So I was always like the last size, and that's when I was like a 12, 14, and no longer there. So I gotta lose the weight so I can shop there again. But again, glad they're in business. But yeah, this is what we're doing right now. You see all these restaurants on the sidewalk? Not comfortable there. I'll order the food and go home, but sitting out here in the sidewalk, people just walk through. I was at social distancing, and now is that okay? I'm curious, but this is what they're doing right now to survive in New York. Been craving some Japanese food for months. I'm finally gonna have it. But yeah, I'm tired now because I think I walked too damn much. But I'm glad I wore my sneakers. Thank you. Thanks. Have a good day. Yep. So hey guys, so this is the earring that one of the earrings I purchased yesterday. So yeah, I like it. So I am trying to do this wrap up outside. It is a windy, and also trying to get it done before everybody is in their backyard barbecuing. It is Labor Day, and we're not doing anything either. My family's here, so I'm just gonna put some chicken on the grill and bake some cauliflower mac. That is it. I didn't get back into this 2 chapters, so I'm going to save this for the next video vlog, because my mood just changed. I just wanted to do something else. So yeah, so when I started this week, sorry about that. When I started this week, I wanted to read feel-good books, or books that's gonna like really spark my interest and make me really want to read. And I did the romance first, so I did Daniel Allen's Truth or Dare, and it was the best book to get me back into just wanting to read and just keep reading. It is a romance that is about these group of friends that were met in college, and they're one of the couple within that friendship is getting married, and then there's other people who spark interest with each other. So in this case, we have a guy in Kingston and a girl, Simone, and they've been friends for many years, but they never really looked at each other like that. But a game of Truth or Dare sparked it amongst the friends, and the romance happened. And a lot of times, you know, with weddings, you want romance, you think of when is your time and that kind of thing. And this one is one of those feel-good books that was fun, very erotic, very erotic. When I say there is a table scene that I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. There was other things. So if you are like a little spice in your romance, this is the book to get. And she did real good, and I really enjoyed the storyline. So then I wanted to sink my teeth in some Harlem Renaissance, and I did Quicksand. Now this is by Nella Larson. This is the book, one of the books on my part 3 of my historical fiction not historical, sorry, classic TBR. And this is the second book I read from her this year, and you see me tab the heck out of this book. Loved it, absolutely loved it. She was definitely a great writer who can tell a story in 125 that does punch, that really punch you with the things that is easily can be discussed. And in this case, you have a woman who is a young woman. She's at that age where she's finding herself. In the story, she started out where I believe she was 22, and she is a teacher. She was fortunate when you think of the time period that this book was published back in 1928. Yeah, and also the timeline of being in the South and was expected, but she's also biracial, so there are certain privilege she has. There's certain things that she's been exposed to. She was able to get an education, become a teacher, but she was teaching in a setting that she did not like. The expectation of what needs to be black in the South was something she was struggling with. She wanted out. She wanted... Okay, maybe I should have drank something before I came out here. Alright. So, anyway. So basically she wanted to explore what was out there, but she didn't want to stay. And she tried to explain it. I believe there was a scene with the principal when she was talking. And he wanted her to think of it as you can be the difference. You can be the change of what you don't like that's happening. And you can see how that was important in the story, because as she explored, she moved to Chicago and New York and Harlem, and she's amongst other people who are very passionate about the black movement, who are very passionate about what's in. It's like she wanted to escape. She wanted to not be in the mix of it, wanted to not be looked at for her skin, or having to constantly talk about the struggles of black people. She wanted to escape it, and there's an opportunity that came where she was able to leave and go to Denmark and being in a country now where she is the black person. She doesn't see anybody that looks like her, and how even that was a struggle for her, because even though she wanted to escape, she did not feel like herself, and she did not want to be not amongst her people. And you can tell how there's a particular line, I can't remember what section it is, and how she was talking about what she missed and how she took for granted her own people and her own identity in terms of our culture. There's so many things that you can really pick from this, because even towards and that the life decision that she made, it's kind of still not enough, and where she had to settle and live with her decision and accept that this is life, regardless of how complicated and not exactly what she wants. That it was just, I feel like this is the book that I would want to read again, because there's so much you can really get from this story, and how much you can think about it as you can't run from who you are. You cannot run from the struggle of now. Even if you think about what we're dealing with now in 2020, and you might not be a vocal, you might not be a person who is screaming Black Lives Matters every day, but you, as a black person, you can't escape it. Even if you don't want to be vocal, you are experiencing it, you are being affected by it, as much as you try not to think about it every day. But you are black, and it does affect you in many ways. And this is what it gives me, that feel when I think about this storyline of you really can't run from who you are, and you have to find a way to live within your decision, find a way to live within your skin and what is for you, you know. And so this is how I feel about this. Now, I decided to pick up the first book in the Harlem Renaissance Classic. This was on my second TBR, this is one of the 2 books I didn't finish, and this was the first book to set it off. This was published back in 1923. Now, guys, if you want to know a real story of someone who is passing, this will be the person. Now, Gene Tomei is very passive. If you saw a picture of him, he looks extremely white. You know, you question what blackness he has, but he is a mixed race. And this was the blackest book he's ever written, because after that he shied away from writing any character that was black, and somewhat fell in the limelight of being white and stayed there. So there's this bitter feeling towards a lot of people why he chose that to live that way. So when you think of, like, you know, The Vanishing Half for this year, you know, this is a real life character that had lived that life for a long time. But this was the start off, and this was published in very small amount, where a lot of people didn't know about this book till many decades later, because it wasn't widely published. But this is very experimental. It's a combination of short story, poetry, play, and what you call like a traditional storyline. And it started off where he's talking about these women. So when I'm reading it, it's one of those books you can have different interpretation, I think, of how to see it, because when you read in this, it feels like you're walking through a town in Georgia and you are seeing these different women, and you hearing a little story from these different women. You're not hearing their story, you're hearing what other people say about them, or what incident happened with these women. And a lot of these women are using their bodies to survive, who are have children with no father in sight, that kind of deal. And it seems tragic, but it also seemed like a young man looking at them in a way that is desirable until you get to know their story, kind of deal. Now, he also do poetry, because I find that he is, even though the stories are short, he's very descriptive, because you get to imagine the characters, how they look, how they behave. Then you have these poetry that goes along with either the character themselves or the situation for each storyline, and it was beautiful. This book is very much a poet kind of book. If you are heavily into poetry, you will like this, and you can really study the poem to really get an interpretation that suits the storyline. That's how I look at it. And then there's the element of leaving the South and going to areas that were more black welcoming, and seeing their struggle. Oh, we made it now, and oh, not really. There's that racism that still exists in those areas, but in a different way. There is still that desire for women, because there's throughout this book, there's a lot of desire for a woman. There's always a woman that is eye-catching, who is mesmerizing in a way, and you know, it's just how they explain these women. And then you have religion also in this story, where how it's looked at and how it influenced race back then, and justification for people's behavior towards being black, and what it means to be black, and in a religious setting. Now, I love this. Now, it is one of those that I feel like it's not going to be for everybody, because it's something that I find that at times you do have to like slow down and go back again to really grasp what was being said, because you could easily get lost in this, because it's like these hidden story within a story kind of situation that I find in this book. And the poetry is also, a lot of them are short, but then there are also ones that I find that I reread more than once to really soak in how it correlates to the previous story or the next story kind of deal. But in essence, it's a short story collection. I was at some point looking for where it all connects as far as being a one story, but it's really not. But there are connection, because it does deal with race and religion and sexuality and things that are very much relevant to then and even now, but in a different way. Very ambitious, It is interesting to live and learn, because I did, after finish this, wanted to know more about the author, and to know that he's what you call passing was very interesting to me, and very different, and very much give you a different insight to what a real life person who lived the passing situation. And I'm not sure when he passed, because that would be also interesting to see is how much his identity was, you know, I'm not sure, but I would, how much his identity was exposed of later on. But we'll see. But this was the first, and again, I think go with caution with this. It's just not for everyone, because it is short, but it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in this. For a short book, he packed in a whole lot, and you have to analyze it in a way that is going to be different than some of the other books. It's like, this is just straightforward, and to me, you're not going to have a problem reading this. This is highly recommended. But this one is to me, it's more challenging, and it did say experimental writing, and it is. I don't really know any other author who wrote 3 different things going on in one book, that I can even compare this to, because this is just like on its own right now. So I'm curious to see, if anybody read anything that is similar to this kind of writing structure. Let me know. But yeah, so I'm gonna end this here. I know this is one of those interesting Labor Day weekend vlog. No fun. In the past I've always had some fun stuff going on. None of that. Not even drinking. Yeah, I have had no alcohol at all this weekend, so I need to fix that. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.